I am David Coker. Welcome to the first ever State of Society address with Mr. Ashley Shreve. And we've done a few podcast episodes together. He was on my show with Joe Allen Williams last week, and I was on his show the week before. And I've only really gotten to know Ashley now for probably about a month. And we've just clicked on so many things, and we talk a lot about our experiences. I've only been active in the community now for about a year. I am a student of Arash Dibazar, and I've been exposed to a lot of other people as well, like Vince Kelvin, Dexter, all that type of stuff. And it's been a really incredible journey, just getting to know different people. And not just seeing my journey, but seeing journeys of other people that have been doing this with me, people that are just getting on it right now. And what's been really great about getting to know Ashley is that he's been doing this for about 10 years. And he's really seen how things can go really right, and he has seen how things can go really wrong. And the thing is there's a lot of problems with, I don't want to say there's hiccup is not the problem, but I want to say that it can be a gateway to problems. And I think that's what Ashley is going to touch up on. I don't want to, I know that about 3 years ago or so, there was a campaign within the pickup community, how, oh, we need to come out now and say that pickup is bad, and it's a disease. And I'm going to be upfront just from where I come from. I've been active in the community for some time, and I don't view pickup as a problem. I view pickup as a problem if that's all that you are putting your focus on. If you're only focusing on just picking up women and you neglect other areas of your life, then I think that's where it can really lead to this, I guess, a disease or something like that. So not really stressing too much about it in regards to myself, but there are other similarities that Ashley has talked about with me before, about how when people get in it, there are phases that they go through from the beginning, like seeking validation, like, oh my God, I need to take like pictures with girls, and show the world that, oh yeah, I'm like this big hotshot guy. And that's something that I've gone through in the beginning. But now that I'm more enlightened and I'm more aware of things, I really see more of what it really means to be a fulfilled man. And that's something that Ashley and I have really clicked and touched up on. And it's been great just to see what his thoughts are. And what's really great about him is that he's really just very passionate about this, like not just about the art form, but just overall, using this kind of art form to genuinely help men and give them the help that they need. Because there are a lot of guys who there are a lot of guys who get into this and are not in the right state, and they go into this thing thinking they're going to get the results that sleeping with nines and tens within 2 weeks and stuff like that. And I think if they don't have the right coaching, then they're going to be even more depressed and be worse than when they were before. So that's something that I think Ashley's going to touch up upon, and he's got a lot of things to say. So I'm having fun right now. So just talking right now. But over here, as you can see, we have Ashley. He's about to, he's going to give a speech and just really touch up on all the issues and just really bring a lot of clarity. And I kind of viewed this event more of him just kind of just coming out, just so people can really know where he's coming from and that type of stuff. So I'm looking forward to have him come out on this event and then just really see him just pop off and just pick up a lot of steam, because although he's been doing this for a long time, I really feel like that now is the time where he's really just going to expand and conquer. And I really feel like may the frame be with you, which is what I do. I do a podcast. I think that we are going to really collaborate in the future. And we've already talked about stuff like that. And yeah, so it'll be really interesting to see what he talks about. So I think he's going to be coming up here soon. And let's see. Looks like we've got a little kind of like State of the Union. Got like a little State of the Union type of background. So I like it. I think we're going to see something very presidential. Ashley's definitely prepared and pumped up for this. So we should expect a really, really good show today. So I think he's about to go on pretty soon. Here he is, Mr. Ashley Shree.
Want me to open this? Get a little more space for you?
Hey, David, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. I actually got a few text messages. Some people had told me that we were a little too quiet, so I'm going to try and speak louder. But I'm really excited to go ahead and get this going. So first, I just want to say, modern gentlemen, respected colleagues, and my fellow brothers and sisters around the globe, many men in our culture's history have stood in front of crowds and they've delivered speeches that have just profoundly impacted our societies, and rightfully so, making their way into our history books. If you think of people like Winston Churchill, John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr., Ronald Reagan at the Brandenburg Gate, all these awesome speeches to societies that have really profounded and impacted us and made their way in their history books. But now in 2015, I'm able to stand in front of you with my own great honor, and I'm able to give you the first State of the Society address. In 2015, our society couldn't have been created for the formation of a similar community in the early 2000s. A community that was started by pioneers who will also have their place in our history books. And a community that was of men that were humbly gathered. They were sharing new ideas and concepts and innovations, not for money or fame, but out of a genuine passion to see their community grow stronger through clarity and personal courage. However, we all know a lot can happen in 15 years. 15 years ago, we had dial-up internet. Tablets and smartphones weren't an extension of someone's arm. Online dating was something that people were ashamed of. I'll wait until the motorcycle passes.
Yeah.
As we change culturally, our community should have continued to change with the times. Not for the survival of the community, but for the opportunities for our members to continually to grow as individuals. Men and women alike at some point need change. It's not in our nature to remain stagnant. Unfortunately, instead of growing in personal development, the change that we saw was people seizing opportunities to exploit other men. Unfortunately, these men who had enough courage to admit that they needed to work on certain aspects of their life unknowingly stumble upon overnight gurus. Our community has become plagued with overnight corporations. and we were breeding doctors who were sicker than the patients. We were not seeking out new medicines and innovations. Instead of competing for business by offering the best service, companies were offering the same cookie cutter material that was designed 10 years ago, and an approach to sell it to the masses, feeding off of our fast food society's desire for that magic weight loss pill. Whereas men of this community used to be modest, some have built up to be idols or gods in others' eyes. Instead of growth through sharing ideas, and new ideas are now looked at as a threat to companies and gurus. Although this can be a great business plan, that is not what our forefathers envisioned with their creation. Although some may now be retired and some may choose not to care, as they too have seized opportunities to exploit individuals' insecurities for profit, there are some forefathers who are still around, who have tried to cure a diseased community. And I ask myself, why is it with 7 billion people on the planet that there is so little growth in this community? Although I will never be in the history books as a forefather, I've been part of the community for about 10 years. After attempting to make a difference, I had to allow myself and the community to just go into quarantine. And I had to allow myself to move in a new direction away from it as I watched it implode on national television, bringing negative association to the community. This is why 2 years ago I created Decoded Dating and the hashtag #BeMoreThanPickup movement. Why focus on fixing a broken system when we can create a whole new system altogether? Why try to seek out those old automobile parts to replace it? That's impossible to find, and you know the automobile is going to die anyway when you just buy a new car. I started to expose those who I had evidence supporting them to be frauds, and I refused to give accolades to faked or pathetic YouTube videos that only do one thing: feed an individual's ego. Now, you should know I was told my ambitions were misguided, that I was too ambitious. I was told to stay in my own lane, stop being so reactive. But I deeply felt like someone had to look out for the little guy who was desperately seeking guidance, but by being caught by a flashy website, stolen or ghost-written articles, and staged YouTube videos. Why is it that this community is the only place where a doctor can be sicker than the patient, not be certified to treat the patient, cut off the patient's arm when he went in for a headache, and then charge him money? And everyone believes the current system is working, that it's helping men. Well, I will call the elephant out of the room and say it's not. We wouldn't tolerate that type of service and treatment in other aspects of our real world, and we should not have tolerated it in that community. What's worse is the abuse. Clients are told it's their fault for not developing fast enough, so they should keep buying the product. Unfortunately, due to individuals' insecurities, they believe it. They know they aren't at the status of the gods yet, and they buy into being told that they are the problem, when in fact the problem most likely could be the program itself that they are taking. So gentlemen, I decided to offer something different. I can't just sit around and complain. That's too much energy wasted in a negative way when it can be channeled in a positive way. When I proposed putting a book on Amazon as a means to spread the word, I was told it was a waste of time. Since then, that book has been an Amazon #1 bestseller multiple times over. Next, I created the Society of Modern Gentlemen. I was told it could not be done. The formation of a new society would be too much work, and it was too risky. Regardless, I pursued, and with the creation of the Gentleman's Lounge, men now have the most comprehensive program ever put out at their fingertips, covering tons of awesome new topics, like cigar etiquette, pairing wines, how to properly do introductions, time management, more and more and more and more and more. And beyond the wealth of knowledge that's available in the Gentleman's Library, we are offering a whole new type of support to members. app integration, 24/7 assistance through Facebook style messenger right on your phone. And it does not stop there. Imagine getting ready to prepare a meal for your guests and having a chef and a mixologist standing by to assist you in the gentleman's lounge. But in the society of modern gentlemen, it's more than just self-development. It's more than networking and available resources. It's also about having fun. This is why I created a fun board game. Actually, it's a drinking game. And just so everybody's aware, it's also patent pending, which I'm pretty excited about. But perhaps you don't want to stay in. Perhaps you want to go out on the town. Well, what a better way to arrive than to skip lines and get free admission. The Society of Modern Gentlemen currently has clubs all over the U.S. offering these VIP benefits to modern gentlemen, even if they arrive alone. And our list of bars, clubs, lounges, whatever, continues to grow. But what if a modern gentleman wants to go out of town for business or for pleasure? I asked myself, how could this new society help each other in this regard? Then it dawned on me. Our organization is no different than any organization such as AAA. And once I had this realization, I went to work. Currently, I am still negotiating prices, but it appears as if 50 cents a year per member will get everyone discounted flights better than Orbitz, discounted hotels, flowers, pizza, you name it. And in fact, after spending a few hours on the phone and calculating what the average man spends money on, we guesstimate members of our society will save $60 a month on average just with the discounts our society will be providing to the members. Just as I've been told before statements like that will never work, I've also been told you're spreading yourself too thin. Well, the truth is, I'm not. Thanks to the modern gentlemen who believe in our new society so much, they're stepping up all over and volunteering however they can to make this a reality for everyone. So what do I do with all this help? Well, I keep innovating. I keep building. I keep asking myself questions. I ask myself, what is a way that men can demonstrate their pride as a member? We'll wait for the police officer to leave. But I know that these guys are proud. I know they love what we're doing. But how can they demonstrate that? What do Masons and other organizations do? Well, I'm sorry to announce, but we will not be doing bumper stickers. However, in a couple weeks, we will be launching the Modern Gentleman cologne line, to be followed by Swiss-made watches, sunglasses, wallets, and even a clothing line. And I promise, every bit of it is just as classy and of the highest quality as you would expect. Imagine how amazing it would be when someone admires your watch and asks who makes it, and you get to tell them that you are a modern gentleman. It was important to me that I dedicated all of my time to putting together the best quality product we could muster. Creating a system that works in 2015 is crucial if we want to start making an impact. This is, excuse me, this meant that marketing wasn't an option outside of a random Facebook post here or there. Even without us actively pursuing a PR campaign, that did not stop us from getting invited and speaking on hundreds of radio stations around the world, not to mention the many magazines and articles that we've been published on online and in print. So the verdict is clear. The new system does work, and it will continue to work. My dream has always been to help others achieve theirs. And it's not only because of our success rate that I'm able to stand here today. Now, we've made a lot of critical strides over the last 2 years, but our work is far from over. We are only halfway through this year, and there is a lot more to come. We will expand upon recently started projects such as the podcast, and we will implement and execute new projects by the end of 2015. Although many of our new projects are a secret, I can tell you one. Decoded Dating has recently teamed up with Amaryllis Studios, and we will begin our first television show in 2016. You see, I hold social experiments constantly to stay current with the newest social trends, and it's time to start filming them and show you. As far as our schedule for the rest of the year, in September, Decoded Dating will begin its first American tour, to be followed by our Euro tour. Against advisement, I have chosen that our tour will be free, and it's designed to afford anyone who is interested on seeing what the future of self-development looks like. I truly believe that people should have access to help, even if they can't afford it. which is why I'm implementing a contest to give away for free 10 spots to our first ever Modern Gentlemen's International Conference held next year in Miami. By the way, if you think everything we're doing now is awesome and revolutionary, you have no idea what you are in for at the conference next spring. But it's way, way too early to leak those secrets. While traveling this fall, I will help build each city's local chapters of our society. This is a new program for like-minded individuals to meet once a month in their city, and we have already rolled out Baltimore, Philly, West Palm Beach, Tampa, and Seattle. I can put the system in place, and I can continue to generate valuable and unique information designed to meet our modern times. However, the final critical step in winning the future I leave to you. It is through your constant support and spreading the word that allows us to shape a world favoring peace and prosperity. For too long has our society said, if it feels good, do it. Let's stop doing what feels good and let's start doing what feels right. Let's stay steadfast in our purpose and let's press on. Modern gentlemen, the state of our society is strong. Long live us, long live the revolution, long live the society. Good night.
Awesome. So, let's see. All right, well, that was really awesome commentary. Really good stuff. Well, I enjoyed it very thoroughly, guys. I think he touched up on a lot of things about what goes on with with the community and how sometimes the doctors can become sicker than the patients and stuff like that. So, I mean, overall, I mean, I think this is a beginning for something that's just really good in regards to just really bringing more awareness to the problems of just what's going on in the community and stuff like that. And in terms of what my thoughts are, I mean, I'm really excited to see what Ashley comes up with. We've talked a lot about what would be happening in Miami and just the type of events that we're going to be throwing and stuff like that. So, other than that, I mean, I thought it was really good. I thought it was a really good speech that actually really touched up on a lot of stuff. But in terms of just like what's going on in the community and stuff like that, yeah, I mean, one of the things that he did touch up on is just that there are a lot of guys who get into this type of stuff, and there are people who genuinely want to get better in regards to their life. Like they want to know how to meet and attract women, and I mean, that's a great first step. I mean, I do think it takes a lot of balls to just come out and just say, hey, I struggle with this, I need help. Because there are a lot of guys out there who will just shame you. They will just say, oh my God, dude, what are you doing? Are you fucking serious? Why are you studying this type of stuff? Do you really need to, go that far? And, there are just a lot of guys that are just really confused. And, I think this type of stuff, like learning about what attraction is and all that type of stuff, it's, I think it's it's a gift, I mean, just the fact that there's all this information out there that can really just take an average guy's understanding and then to make him understand what's going on and then to have him change. I think that's just really good stuff. And I think just something from myself is I think that a lot of guys, what they do, the average guy, is they get so involved in pickup that they neglect their life. So, I mean, like life in terms of like their finances, their relationships, and then they just become sicker and sicker. And what I like about Ashley's approach is that he knows that different people have different learning styles and all that type of stuff. So yeah, it was a good speech. You know, it was a really good speech, and I look forward to collaborating with Ashley more on that. And yeah, I'm David Coker from May the Frame Be With You. I do a podcast with Mr. Joe Allen Williams. And one thing I do want to say, guys, this is actually like my first time giving live commentary live on YouTube. So I'm kind of like, how do I do this? So, yeah. Anyways, guys, I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week. May the frame be with you. This is a sign language for F, just for frame. So what we say is we like to do like may the frame be with you. So it's like, all right. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of the week. Goodbye. Peace.